Here we are, 2 days before the trip, getting ready to head out here shortly, or at least we're still getting packed, getting all things straightened up, and all the usual things you do before you go. But super excited to go. Looking like that our trip will be, at least the first part of it, it's going to be 70 degrees most of the time with very little rain, and the second part of the week will be a little more rainy and a little cooler. So it kind of makes things packing a little interesting because you've got to pack now for both extremes, not really extremes, but both levels versus our last trip we took in 2023. We mostly needed clothes for the cooler climbs. This time we're gonna have to add an extra pair of shorts or something. Thankfully, it's the smaller pieces we're having to add is the shorts and t-shirts. So yeah, packing is continuing. Mostly right now it's doing laundry and getting everything ready for that. Got some snacks yesterday for the plane, and just the usual things. I had to get batteries for all the air tags because they have all died over the last year in the time we've had those. So I had to renew all the batteries. So that was one thing. And I think everything's pretty much ready to go. We're just having to get everything's packed up now. Just one of the big challenges that came up with this trip is that last week I injured my Achilles tendon and it was significantly sore, really bad. And since then I had to wear a boot for like 3 days to kind of give it a break. And since then it's much better now. I'm able to walk around, but my calf's acting weird. Kind of unhappy with, I guess, the way I've been walking. So hopefully that will fully rehab by Friday and I'll be in a better place in case we have to run through an airport or something. But okay, I wanted to show you something. I bought this jacket last trip from REI. It's a very unusual color. My wife was like, "You're really gonna pick a color that extreme?" I'm like, "Yeah, I like it. It's kind of different." So I got this, and I found out a neat feature of this is that it will pack itself in its pocket. So let's try and see if we can remember how to do that. Okay, so what I remember is we have to bring the fold over to where the pocket is that we're going to put it in. Fold the sleeve back down. Do the same for the other side. There it goes. And then for this part, we have to fold up to the bottom of the sleeve, or the pocket. And then fold this part over. Wait, put in. Okay, get the air out. Yes, we can. Fold that part over. We're almost there. Now the best part. Fold that. And then get over to the pocket. And shove it all in real quick. Something like that. It does have a really deep pocket that it fits in. Just have to manhandle it a little bit at this point. There we go, now we're talking. Okay. Now we get it squeezed down. Ta-da! We have a jacket in a pocket. How about that? Pretty cool. It takes up a lot less room in the bag. Good morning. It is day one day to take off. And I've got my bag half packed. I've got things gear put aside. I need to go through it to make sure I have everything correctly available, charged up, ready to go, and those types of things. Um, Today's task is specifically check in on for the flights, and I've been watching the flight that we're taking that goes over to London the last few days, and noticed that 2 days ago it left 4 hours late, and then ended up getting in London 4 hours late, of course. So that would have been a difficult changeover, considering our plane would have left 2 hours before we got there. Then yesterday it left about half an hour late. So hopefully we'll be on time tomorrow when we go take ours. Minor issue. I mean, like we said before, we'll figure it out as we go. If something happens, and we just go with the flow. We're not stressing out about any of it, but it's one of those things that you look at and go, I wonder if that's going to happen to us. And yeah, just the things that run through your head as you're preparing. Last night I ended up waking up at 4 a.m. and was just awake. I couldn't go to sleep. I had a list of things I needed to add, or a list of items I needed to add to my list of things to take, and I forgot to add to the list, and the usual things. So I wrote those down, watched a quick episode of the show, and had a little snack, then went back to bed and was able to sleep till about 7 this morning. That was good. I hope tonight's not going to be the same way, because I need to sleep. But I know we're going to try and sleep on the plane, but that could be hit or miss for me. We'll see. So we will hopefully have everything all squared away this afternoon and then be on the plane tomorrow. Good morning, everyone. We're up and going this morning already. You can't tell by the light. It's 6:25 in the morning. I decided to run out this morning and get some breakfast on our first day of travel. So this afternoon we are getting on a plane and heading. That was good English. We're on our way heading to Scotland. Hey, new shirt. Well, not new shirt, but Scotland shirt. So yes, we're going to be heading out this afternoon, getting on the plane in Dallas Fort Worth Airport, flying to London Heathrow. And at midnight, 12:30 our time tonight, we'll be arriving in London. And then getting on another plane, flying to Glasgow, and then driving all day, making our way up to our first lodging on the way. And that's going to be quite a day. It's going to be quite a day, because we're going to stay up until tomorrow night, Scotland time. So lots of travel, lots of things to go on. We're going to take you along this venture, see how things go. We have an hour and a half layover in Heathrow, and I understand we have to transfer state terminals by bus, and so it's going to be interesting. It might be kind of tight, but we'll just flow with it, see what happens, and we'll go from there. But anyways, let's get breakfast and let's get started. So off we go. Okay, breakfast acquired. On the way back to the house. It's been 6 minutes. So off to a good start. Well, I'm not often out on the road this early in the morning. In fact, I'm usually not out of bed this early in the morning, let alone on the road. So, okay, I was up at 5:30 this morning. I woke up and tried to go back to sleep, but I couldn't. I couldn't do it. It was hard. So I decided to get up. And then I was starting to scheme, thinking ahead of all the things we got to do today, get ready. And I was thinking, I kind of wanted Einstein Brothers for breakfast. I don't know if you've ever had that or not, but Einstein Brothers is pretty good bagels. The ones they have, I don't know if they have them everywhere, but here in Texas, you can get brisket bagels, which are really good. And so that was kind of my thought, is to run out and get breakfast this morning for us to kind of start the day off. And I mentioned that to my wife, and she's like, any morning you want to go out and get me breakfast, feel free. So, okay, you said it. Here I am. Okay, we are even closer to being leaving. Listen to me. There we are. Car's loaded. Got all the baggage squeezed in the best we could, got as much stuff as I think we can fit, and we're ready to head out to the airport. So off we go to our adventure to Scotland. See you soon. Oh yeah. Okay, we made through security, got here in the airport, obviously, waiting for our flight. We got about an hour more to kill. Security was fine, except that I ended up getting, one, I had to take my belt off. Second, after that, I went through again and I triggered it again. I had to go get the scan. So after all that, everything was good. This is our chariot. This is our chariot for the journey this time. 777-300. Making it.
Question of what was on board American Airlines flight.
This way?
Yeah. That have been assured safe from your photo through your item. We ask that you would push your rollerboards in the overhead compartment. Your smaller items can go under the seat in front of you. We are expecting a full flight. We do ask that you would take your assigned seats as quickly as possible if you should need any assistance. Let's let a flight attendant know. If you are seated in a designated exit seat, you may be called upon to open that exit in the event of any...
I hope we can rent bikes easily and just take them to because I know the metro somehow... Oh yeah, probably right.
Had meal delivered. Here's chicken and rice. And you ended up with veggie pasta. See if we can manage. So we've made it to London, however, apparently we're in a holding pattern because of curfew. So waiting for the window to open for us to land. The unfortunate process of getting there early. So anyways, we're still early.
But I have good memories from it. The castles in Korea.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I found it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
That's nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Half hours, I think, then we'll pay to walk.
Passengers are reminded that smoking is not permitted in the airport.
Almost all European countries, England, Scotland, Ireland are like the ones left. When you go across the English Channel, you switch back over to France. Yep. When you get off the tunnel. I'm tired. That was an interesting flight, we'll say that. Yeah. The big thing I will say is that next time around, we're going to do not the 8-hour flight from where we went from Dallas straight to London, and being in those little tiny seats for 8.5 hours was a bit much. So could not sleep, did not sleep at all on the plane. I tried, did not work. But we're here. That's the good thing. The annoying thing was that when we got to the area, we actually were early, ahead of schedule, and we were here 5:30 in the morning, and they wouldn't let the plane land because apparently there's a curfew around the airport. I assume that they can't land until 6 o'clock. So we had to wait until the close to 6 o'clock before they let them land. But the good news is we were still half an hour early, so that helped us with our change. The odd thing with the airport here is that they don't let you know what gate your flight is leaving from until like 40 minutes before the flight leaves, something like that. So we have to wait to 7:20, which is another 10 minutes before we can even find out what gate our plane leaves at. So we're sitting at the gate that one of the flight apps says is going to be the gate. Hopefully that will be the case. So we'll find out here in a minute.
In our scheduled flight, so all good news this morning, and sit back, relax, and enjoy the last 30 minutes or so.
We made it to Glasgow, and of course our plane arrived at the far end of the airport. My calf was hurting a bit, so we decided to take our time exiting. But once we got our bags and our rental car, we decided to go to a grocery store to get some supplies. Okay, we made it. We're in the house. Getting a grocery stop, and we're at Asda. It's one of the big grocery stores here, and we're gonna go through and look at some of the really interesting items they have here, because it's a lot different from Texas, I'll tell you that much. And so yeah, in fact, let's just start here real quick. I have a couple examples that are quite funny, actually. Funny for me, haha. Maybe some of y'all like it, I don't know. Get first. Okay, first. Oh, any 3 for 2. Cheapest item free. Okay, very kind. But how about, would you like a bacon and ketchup on white bread? Or how about chicken and sweet corn. The other one, prawn and mayo. Hoisin duck. All-day breakfast in a tortilla wrap. And the southern fried chicken on a wheat wrap. That's kind of funny. They have that too. We got another few items to talk about. Crisps. They're called crisps here. How about chili mac and cheese, Thai sweet chili, roasted chicken and thyme, and then the other one. What about T-bone steak flavored? The other thing is, in Europe, you can get your eggs. They are shelf stable. They put them on the shelf. They do not refrigerate them because they don't wash off the membrane on the outside like we do in the US. That's something to get used to do, just getting eggs and leaving them on the counter.
Now that we had our groceries, we made our way north to our Airbnb, and we made a few stops along the way to soak in the scenery. We then stopped in Fort William for lunch. After lunch and a bit of light shopping, we continued north to get to our accommodation. It had been a very long day and we were exhausted. We decided to just unpack, relax, and enjoy the amazing view. Be sure to subscribe and get notified when the next video in this series gets posted.